Let's meet someone who is a beloved Australian television presenter, a media coach, and a mother of three. I'm Kate Save. The Inspired CEO starts now. Welcome to The Inspired CEO, where each episode we explore the innovative wellness practices that are driving success and longevity in the modern business world. In this episode, we chat with Karen Ledbury, one of Australia's most familiar faces on television with more than 30 years in the media. Best known for her roles on The Sydney Weekender and The Morning Show, Karen has also built a career as an MC, media coach, a tutor at NIDA and AFTRS. Beyond the screen, she has a black belt in karate, she's a qualified hairdresser and makeup artist, and a proud mother of three. Her story is one of resilience, determination, and having navigated both professional success and deeply personal challenges with strength and grace. Welcome, Karen.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. What an impressive intro.
Oh, you
How gonna me?
Yeah, I know. I love it, right? And I feel like it's been a long time since we connected. We were doing our little Instagram show many years ago, actually.
We had fantastic how we met, obviously, through the morning show and our segments. But then going on every Friday and just teaching people about food, you're just amazing at the knowledge that you have. And I think it's so great to get it out there.
Well, I knew that you had stuff going on then with your dad. I knew he was sick, and I'm so sorry. I remember speaking to you after he passed, and then I later lost my mum, and it's just a hole in your heart that is never filled. But that was just the start of a tumultuous personal journey. And I remember how proud you were when your son got accepted for the swimming team over in Hawaii, and we talked about that on our show. And tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. It was a kind of snowball of different events. You lose a parent, and for anyone who has lost a parent, it's not just a huge hole. It's an ongoing sinkhole because you find yourself, I remember after my dad passed, I think it was only about 2 or 3 weeks after my son had raced in a swimming race because he was a great athlete. And he won the race. He did amazing. And the first thing I did was picked up my phone and called my dad. And it had so many emotions because the first emotion is, oh, I've forgotten my dad had died. How do you forget your dad had died? It was that instant, I just want to share it. And then being overwhelmed with he's not there anymore. And it's just such a difficult time. He passed away in the October. And it was the following June when you're still grieving and you've still got lots going on. But suddenly my husband suffered a catastrophic stroke, a hemorrhagic stroke. Healthy, no signs, no symptoms, no indicators that would say that he was high risk. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, he was fit.
He was going to go to the gym that morning, I heard you say. Yeah.
And so he suffered a catastrophic stroke. I was in the studio at the time, so I missed it. So my middle son, who was home from America, he was at the University of Hawaii, but he was home for the summer. He had to get him to the hospital, and I come out of the studio, we've had a great day, we've done lots of great records, and I had only seen him at 5:30 in the morning, and then I get the call saying we're going in to say goodbye to him, and
my goodness.
That was traumatic to say the least. My husband, so unexpected, so tragic. He was 2 years in hospital. And it was touch and go a lot of the time. But only 3 weeks after he had a stroke, a week after his stroke, my son went back to America. And then 3 weeks after he got back, I get a call. I was in intensive care, and he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm with Dad." And
I can hear it.
The call.
Yeah.
It's hearing his voice. It's actually not even the news because I've kind of come to terms with it, and he's great now, but he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm with Dad. I'm in intensive care. I'm sitting down." He said, "Look, I'm in hospital." And as a typical mum of boys, you go, "What have you done now?" But he said, "Look, I've got cancer and I'm going in for surgery immediately."
Oh my goodness.
It was literally the feeling of someone hitting me in the chest with a sledgehammer. It was like my dad, my husband, my son, like enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah. A human's not built to deal with that much trauma.
As
They
women,
just
we are incredibly resilient. But all of a sudden, I have mostly men in my life. I only have a brother. Then I had my dad, my husband, my son. All of a sudden, and my eldest son had only just moved out of home as well. So I went from a family of 5 to a family of 2, my youngest son and I. And it was just, it was a lot. But it's amazing how resilient women are, or people are. And the I had a lot of light bulb moments in those first few weeks that have given me the strength to carry on, and changing my perspective in life has helped so many other people that have since gone on and had tragedies and used my little tips and tricks to be able to handle anything that they have come their way. It's definitely a mindset, which is no different to business CEO. It's your mindset on the business. It's your mindset on the challenges. It's your mindset on the people around you. It's your mindset on where you're going and what you're doing. It really is quite powerful, and how you can pivot from that deep, dark depths of sadness and loss to a very positive place. There's a lot of positive things come from deep tragedy.
I must say too, do you believe, so the early years of your training in karate, and you've got a black belt for anyone who doesn't know, do you think any of that training helped? Was there anything skills-wise, mentally? What gave you that strength and resilience to get through? What did you lean on?
It definitely does. My dad was a police officer. He was a very strong man. My mum we moved a lot. My mum went through a lot. So I kind of had some great role models in just get on with it. You know, they were kind of the get on with it era. But yeah, definitely the karate gave me discipline, strength. You get hit in the head a few times and you certainly know how to be able to get up and go back again. But the one pivoting thing, the only thing that got me through was, I think it was on about day 4 or 5. For some reason, because there was always people in the intensive care unit, I found myself by myself, and at Ronald Shore, I'd just seen Aiden. I'd gone down in the lift, and everything was numb. I couldn't hear sound. I couldn't notice people. It was like a blur. Everything was going around. I went in the lift. I came out of the lift downstairs, and I actually couldn't cry. I was so devastated that I couldn't physically cry. And then as I walked around the corner, I saw a woman, and she was holding what looked like a 3 or 4 week old baby.
Yeah.
And I instantly thought, I'm so lucky I don't have to go home to toddlers. At the time, my youngest was 15.
Yeah.
The middle one was 19 and the eldest one was 23. So I thought, the boys have had so much time with their dad. If he does pass, they've had all this amazing time. He was the manager of their sports team. He went to every swim meet. And so I felt this really overwhelming emotion of gratitude. And then as I got a bit further, I noticed the person she was talking to was a young man her age in a wheelchair, and he was quite clearly a quadriplegic. He was talking out of a tube.
Yeah.
And I instantly thought to myself, that woman has had her baby by herself. He won't be able to change nappies. He won't be able to do all of that. So this woman in both her own versatility. And all of a sudden I thought, my problems are insignificant. You know, if Aiden makes it or he doesn't make it, or he makes a full recovery, or if he doesn't, that's challenges that we face as we go. But I feel gratefulness is the place I sit in every day.
And that is just unbelievable perspective. And I think being able to share that with other people to help them have perspective is important too. And 2 things came up for me when you said that. My very best girlfriend from high school, I've got a couple, but one of my best girlfriends, she's an intensive care doctor. I speak to her once or twice a day, every day, because her job is tough and she's an empath. It was hard to be a doctor.
She takes on all the emotion.
Takes on all the family emotion. She does all the conversations. And I remember there was this particular day at 11 o'clock at night, and she'd gone to the supermarket. She's just finished work. I think it may have been during COVID, where she couldn't even see her family until she'd washed head to toe because she was scared she could kill the family type thing. And she'd gone and bought some food in the supermarket, and she was saying to me, this is too hard. I don't know if I can do this anymore, etc., etc. And I said, what do you do in the supermarket so late at night? And she goes, there's a homeless man outside. I always go in and buy him something to eat. And she walks out, and I said, So if you think you can't do this anymore, instead of giving him your bag of food, give him your car keys and your house keys and tell him he can drive your car, live in your house and be a doctor. How does that feel for perspective? And she laughed and I go, no, serious. He's on the street, doesn't know where his next meal's coming from. He's going to be cold, lonely, all those sorts of things. And she's like, oh my God, it's so silly.
Isn't it? The position she's in.
Yeah.
And obviously the finances that affords her means that she can go and get that meal and help those people. But it's the people, the ongoing effect, the intensive care doctors that, you know, they said there is no way he will survive. They've brought him through. But if there's anyone out there going, what is the one skill to get you through multiple and there was, on top of that, I'd lost a really good girlfriend. You know, there was all of these things happening simultaneously. Work was really busy. New challenges with that. So there was all the outside stuff that you face day to day. Also adapting to be the only one caring for the home, the only one doing all the administrative. But I think if there's one tool, it's sit in great gratefulness at every single point in time. Because Aiden has had his stroke, we've both have a very different perspective of each other, and our love is different. The way we interact with each other is different. The way he sees life is very different. It's his second near-death experience. He'd lost his arm when he was in his early 20s. And whilst they reattached his arm, it was a very huge process. He was in hospital for quite some months. And so it's really allowed us to sit in the present, which I had never done before. I'd always sat in, next week's busy, I'm traveling in 2 weeks' time, I've got this going on, I've got that going on. I only sit, I'm only here now talking to you, and I'm not thinking about what have I got to do this afternoon or what happened this morning. I'm only
This is it. This is life right here, right now.
Totally. So when you have a bad morning, it's done.
Yes.
Make it a good afternoon.
Yes.
You know, I'm sitting in my wardrobe crying. Just the other day, I'd cleaned out all the wardrobe and I found the clothes that he was in on that day that they'd cut off. And the boys had wanted to keep them. And I was just crying in the wardrobe, just uncontrollably. I had that 10 minutes. And then I'm like, right, what do we do to make the rest of the day better? Yeah, let's recover from that. And being grateful for what you do have and not dwell on what you do. I don't have my dad anymore. But there will be a time in life where we all lose a parent or we all don't have him. And so I think it's being grateful for the time that I did have with my dad. I had all my life with him. My dad saw all my children. Aiden's had saw some people leave their husbands when the kids are younger, not even born yet. So all those things you've got to be grateful for.
That's what you have. And the other one that popped up for me, I remember the night I found my mum dead and completely fit, healthy, nobody knew. There's actually no known cause of death from the autopsy report. Nobody has any idea. And going back to Mum and Dad's house that night, and Dad said, I can't live here anymore. I'm like, that's okay, Dad. We'll sell the house. We'll buy you a unit. You know, we'll fix all of this. And I went back to my family house with my 2 daughters and my husband. And it's about 1 a.m. in the morning. And I jumped into bed with one of the kids. I sort of said goodnight to them. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to have a cuddle and just, you know, little kids. And anyway, within about half an hour of that, the youngest daughter got up and started projectile vomiting for 5 hours. And everyone else in the house was asleep. And I've got this little girl over the toilet. We slept on the bathroom floor. She's bawling her eyes out. I'm bawling my eyes out. And all of a sudden, the purpose came to me that I'm your mum. I don't have a mum anymore, but my mum is here in my heart to help me, to help you. This is my purpose. I didn't feel sorry for myself anymore after that. I thought I've lost my mum, poor me. I was like, no, has you? Yeah, she needs me. I need to step up now. This is my time to really step into those shoes and be grateful.
And even now you will have this constant wave or reminder of the incredible woman that your mother was. Daily I am reminded of the strength and virtue and integrity that my dad had daily. And it's constantly in my face. And I think I have that because he's not here.
Yes.
So again, there's a lot more to be grateful because of what we've been through. And in everyday life, I think, what would Dad do? And, you know, sometimes I wish he was here to help me through this. Where, you know, it's really important to go back and go, well, what did they teach me that I can take on to my kids?
And for people who don't know as well, you turned up and kept working throughout this period. You've got a husband in intensive care and you fronted up on national TV, kept working through all of this. That is absolutely unbelievable.
Is for anyone who's watching this that is a viewer of the morning show, thank you, because you got me through. They've been a big part of my life. They've seen my children born. They've gone through all of that, and I think that the viewers really, and the show, Larry and Kylie, are amazing. Everyone banded together, and I think that gave me the release that I was just a normal person. That's at home, and there was all this tragedy. But at work, I was just a normal person going off to work. I didn't have a single day off through all of it. And that's not to have a badge to say I was tougher than, but it was all part of that. Let's be grateful for what we've got now. And sitting in my bedroom in the dark crying is not going to change anything. And touching on what you found with your daughter, not now, maybe 10, 15, 20 years' time when she's faced with some challenges, she will think about that time when she will know that you were experiencing the grief and loss of your mother, but you still showed up and you were still strong and you were still there to help her. That they are the things that will be imprinted in her for the rest of her life. And I think that's what's important for me to show my boys now. I had Aiden in intensive care in Sydney, Australia. I had Jordan in hospital in Hawaii, in the United States, and you've just got to show them that, you know what, we've anything is okay, and we have got everything. And I think that's such an important lesson. Like I say, be grateful for what you do have, and I am grateful that these lessons are being taught to my kids, that they will look at their life in a more positive manner. And it's funny, the little things that go wrong, the little things that happen to them, they can just handle it because they know I can as well. So I think that's really important as well.
Well, for people that are wanting to, I guess, watch you more, you are everywhere. I see you popping up everywhere. So you're doing bits with real estate?
So my main core job is on the morning show with Larry and Kylie every day, Channel 7, 9 till midday. And then I also work on Sydney Weekender, which is every Sunday. I don't do a lot of shows. I'm not on every week because obviously with my schedule to film Sydney Weekender, we need to take a full day out. So that's often hard with my morning show schedule, but I try to as many times as I can because it's just such a wonderful show. And then I also do some premium real estate videos for Stone Real Estate. And then I also am an ambassador for Shopback, which is...
I love Shopback.
Shopback's amazing.
So good.
Amazing. So I've just signed on with those guys to be some TV commercials that you'll see. And then I've got a new project, which is launching hopefully towards the end of 2025. I can't talk about it.
So
Cecilia, a bit more of me in a very different Kaz. Very different.
Well, I just think your energy is phenomenal, and it just really takes me back to that time when we were doing the videos, and I know you were going through that, but you just kept showing up, and you're saying, I might not be myself, it's going to be tough, but I won't cancel, and you just kept showing up, and your grace, resilience, and your strength is honourable.
Well, that's what helped me, is seeing somebody who was strong or confident or happy or able to face things but still have time for others. And I really dived into my charity work as well. And I think that's what, if someone's watching and they're going through a difficult time, it's like everyone's normal, everyone's human, we all have issues, but it's just having that little smile at the end of the day that actually makes it just that little bit easier. You're always going to feel the pain. You're always going to feel the sadness. That doesn't really ever go away. But learning how to fit it into your life, I fit grief into my life and I allow it to be there. I do sit in it a lot, as in I don't dismiss it and go, okay, well, let's be happy and let's get on with it. I sit in our issues sometimes and really process it and think about what it means. And Aiden requires 24-hour care. He can't walk, he can't communicate, he can't talk. And he needs ongoing treatment, and his life expectancy is not great, but every day we just acknowledge it. But let's make today great, because that's all you have, you know.
Yeah, I love that. Stay in the moment, be present.
Totally.
And
there's so many special things if you just stop and be present. You know, from our meetings to this here, it's such a special moment that even though we know each other and we've talked and you've done your research and all the rest of it, it's still a moment that we had where we're both sharing in our grief and still learning the skills of how we both handle that. People watching will hopefully feel that as well, that I think if the more you stay in the present, the more deeper relationships, the more you get out of life.
And it is what lasts out all the things, isn't it? About what you have or where you're going.
It's where you are right here.
I love that. And if there's a little moment the last couple of days, what was the little thing that brought you joy? I know mine was watching a kookaburra on our fence, just laughing, the laughing kookaburra, and brought the kids over and just watch the laughing kookaburra. And we all just loved it. That was it. That was my joy on the weekend.
Yeah. I find moments just like that, where you see an animal and you're wrapped up in it and you just think, oh, beautiful.
Or the baby,
everything needs to go. Totally. There's so many joys in. I get joys from everything. Just even sitting I've had a really busy day. This was yesterday. I was busy all day yesterday, and I sat down on the couch and I had an hour just with Aiden, and we just sat there and looked at each other, and I talked to him about my day. And those precious moments with people that you don't know how long you've got left with is so important. And let's face it, none of us know how long we've got here.
True.
So having those moments is what brings the joy to me,
Thank you so much for sharing so openly and honestly, Karen. It's amazing to have you here. And this is The Inspired CEO, and we'll be right back.